Fellow citizens here in Rocky Mount, I'm Mayor Sandy Roberson, and I had the opportunity recently in the beginning of the week to deliver the State of the City address, my first one since being elected your mayor. And it's been quite an interesting period of time since I've been the mayor. We've experienced pandemic and many other crises that have challenged our mettle as a community. I'm proud to announce that we as a community, by all accounts, have survived and are doing well. We have many directions, many steps that we need to take to perhaps improve, because we can always improve. So I'm taking this opportunity on this show today to re-give the State of the City address in a format that we can record it so that you can hear it later. Hello, I'm Mayor Sandy Roberson, and I'm here on behalf of the City of Rocky Mount to give you an update on the state of our city. I'd like to start with a thank you to all that have worked together on what has been a very tough year since I took office as your mayor. I am so proud that we have rallied together to get through a year of this pandemic and that we have supported moratorium on utility cutoffs for those in our community who are struggling. We received an investigative report from the North Carolina State Auditor. We have survived flooding events. We've provided food to our neighbors in need. We've participated in peaceful protest and the removal and eventual sale of the Confederate monument, dealing with Suddenlink and broadband access issues across the board, handling a city computer shutdown, and maybe most importantly, developing an understanding that Black lives do matter. Before I continue, I'll ask you to join me in a moment of silence to remember all those who we lost in COVID-19 and to keep their family and friends in our prayers. Thank you. The pandemic came at us quickly and unexpectedly, and the city responded. The Budget and Evaluation Office, under the leadership of Ken Hunter, finished 2020 with a net gain in fund balance despite the pandemic and found more than $13 million in necessary reductions to offset the ongoing impact of the pandemic on city revenues to maintain a balanced budget. The Business and Collection Service, led by Letitia Hall, developed a more robust customer-facing website, making it easier to navigate, including the ability to place service requests, view and pay your bill, and manage multiple accounts. They also launched the Unity Assistance Program in partnership with Community and Business Development to allocate funds from the CDBG CV funding, ensuring that eligible customers exhibiting financial hardships related to our COVID-19 can get payments up to $500 applied to their utility accounts. They continued the city's partnership with Salvation Army on the WARM program to support eligible customers with up to $300 applied to their utility accounts. This program is funded 100% through donations and fundraising from folks in our community. The Communications and Marketing and Public Relations, which is overseen by Dorothy Smith, quickly overcame technical issues to successfully broadcast city council meetings to the general public through Facebook Live and an upgraded City 19 TV on YouTube. The Human Relations Department, directed by Archie Jones, managed the difficult task to implement the 2020 census count while dealing with COVID-19 restrictions, and partnered in a number of relief projects supporting our community during this pandemic. When the city experienced a ransomware attack, Technology Services and its newly hired director, Greg Cotton, increased the threat detection and responses across network devices and storage systems to keep the city's computer systems safe. Thank you to each one of you and your staffs. So when I ran for mayor, I did so because of the love I have for my hometown, and realizing that talk was cheap, and if I wanted to change, together we had to be the change. These are the issues that you wanted me to focus on, and many will be the subjects of the upcoming virtual town hall led by our city manager. First of all, improving public safety. You know, I have heard you, we have heard you, that the safety of our neighborhoods is of utmost importance to every resident within the city of Rocky Mount. And in the last year, my team, led by Bill Farmer, and I worked with UNC Chapel Hill students on a capstone project capturing and collecting data regarding crime, researching on either national and statewide communities and police interact, discovering successful initiatives on how to differentiate violent offenders from those suffering from the impact of mental health on our crime statistics and diving deep into the analytics to predict high crime areas. My hope is that through this data collection, not only to pinpoint where crime happens most often and then utilize technology and other city assets to not only predict where crimes will occur, but better utilize our police force and community resources to combat it. I forwarded this report to the city manager and the police chief, and I want to thank you, Bill, for your leadership on this initiative. In our efforts to improve communication, thanks to the city manager for identifying this technology, we hope to soon explore exciting smartphone application developed by the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department that allows the public to be alerted of crimes in real time that are happening close to their homes, schools, or workplace. Citizens can also use the app to easily report crimes, complaints, or compliments in addition. The app alerts the public about traffic accidents and road blockages. We think it's a better way to share information and look forward to bringing this technology to the city and discussing its implementation and possible acquisition by the city of Rocky Mount. I have partnered with ADT Blue to provide us with free doorbell cameras to place in high crime neighborhoods as a test, so as to assist the Rocky Mount Police Department with the video of criminal misdeeds. And thank you, ADT Blue, for your help in finding solutions for crime. Each of us on the council have heard you and are focused on improving public safety as we take positive steps in the right direction. You know, until every child in Rocky Mount graduates from high school, Rocky Mount will not reach its full potential. You know, we've spent a great deal of time in the community discussing education. In fact, we will soon have an initiative in Rocky Mount that embraces the Obama Foundation's My Brother and Sister's Keeper program that aims to increase the number of youths of color who have access to the tools and opportunities needed to reach their full potential. You know, this team effort has been led by Bill Farmer with the help of Ron Green of the Boys and Girls Club of the Tar River region. I want to thank you both for your leadership of this important initiative. I also want to applaud and recognize the efforts Peacemakers is making in South Rocky Mount. They've recently announced the launch of a kindergarten and a first grade class that will grow over the years to include higher grades. Peacemakers has proven through their summer program and after school programs that they can get results. And I want to thank you, Jesse Lewis and Lemanuel Williams, for your commitment to our community. I have formed a schools and jobs task force, and that was led by Kevin Jones, who noted in their final report that Rocky Mount was featured as Fox Business's top 5 cities where manufacturing is thriving, giving us the opportunity to expose our city's young people to successful manufacturing careers as an alternative to college. And I want to thank you, Kevin, for joining with me to solve the problems of our city that we're currently facing. You are a true servant leader. I also want to thank Dr. Ellis and Dr. Bridgers for their commitment to our children. We are blessed to have 2 such qualified individuals leading our area schools, our public school systems. And it truly takes a village to raise our children, and the community is responding, and they're responding by asking how they can help. Now, together we have researched strategies that have provided technology and training to low-performing areas, and we have connected with our local public education systems to understand the challenges that are confronting our community. And we are continuing to work together to strengthen education in Rocky Mount. So our median household income is about $40,000 a year. And that number is about $20,000 less than what the statewide median would be. And guys, we need to do better. We have to do better. And I believe that we can do better. So I've taken the initiative to talk to our largest employers as well as companies looking to relocate to Rocky Mount. And these are the challenges they are facing. And they're not necessarily unique to the city of Rocky Mount, but they include low educational achievement. And that means that we need to improve our high school graduation rates and an unreliable job attendance, most likely related to unstable transportation and/or child care issues. So other input from existing area businesses is that they have the jobs, but they do not have the skilled labor forces to fill them. Another reason for our community to begin to focus on workforce development. I should say begin to continue our efforts on workforce development, because these are things that we can do to change together. In addition, together we must develop and support downtown. That's the heartbeat of any city. And it's the first place any new business looking to relocate visits. And ours must become an economic engine of entrepreneurs, artists, thriving businesses, and downtown residents who support these businesses, all wrapped within the historic architecture of our buildings. I want to applaud Amy Statton, who leads our finance department, and Candace Kurtz, purchasing manager, for their efforts to increase the MWBE participation. In our city contracts, they have gone from 0.84% to 2.9% of eligible spending. And of note, I've worked with community leaders recently to sell Rocky Mount to new companies launching in the next few months, they being FCR and Wolf and Flow X-Ray. I will continue to work to bring new jobs and companies to our area, and more announcements will be coming soon. In addition, we have been meeting with an advisory council of Rocky Mount business leaders, led by Mark Froman and Tina Taylor and the UNC Chapel Hill's Public Policy Department, to support local businesses and economic development through identifying resources for capital and for training, as well as showcasing how businesses and communities across the state have been adapting to this pandemic as examples for inspiration. We recently partnered with the city to research data on how contracts are awarded, with the goal to ensure that all businesses have access. Thank you, Tina and Mark, for utilizing your business savvy and your expertise in our quest to help small businesses launch, grow, and thrive. I continue to have ongoing discussions with our small businesses on their needs, their ideas, and how we can evolve and come out strong from this pandemic. We often talk about affordable housing. Affordable housing has more to do with the median household income than the cost of the housing. It has more to do with the housing that is available. And I've heard you. And we need good jobs that pay a good wage so that people can afford housing. A higher median incomes help our citizens to afford housing. But we have a shortage of good housing to offer. Fortunately, residential real estate developers see this need and starting to focus on Rocky Mount for investment. And we welcome their investment into our community. Eradicating blight is one avenue to strengthen neighborhoods, increase safety, and create a vehicle for home ownership for individuals within each community. Realtors say the time is now for this initiative because we only have approximately 105 houses for sale in our community on the MLS, and the rental housing market is over 95% occupied. And there are approximately 300 to 400 houses that are currently boarded up. And so redevelopment in blighted areas can be a place where home ownership is promoted and enabled. Gentrification can be harnessed in a way that keeps ownership within the community and allows current homeowners to participate in gains in housing values. Now, for developers looking to invest in our community, our development services, spearheaded by Will Deaton, has launched the one-stop shop to provide downtown developers, realtors, and other real estate professionals the opportunity to easily speak with city professionals involved in each aspect of a project. And that department, in fact, has received 3 awards for the North Carolina chapter of the American Planning Association. Our city manager, Small Tony, and her team have rolled out an aggressive plan to expand affordable housing, and I back it 100%, including and especially the option of asking the public to participate through a general obligation bond added to an upcoming ballot. Her team has done an outstanding job of showcasing the needs, suggesting solutions, and the direction our city needs to move forward in this direction. So, another item that I think is important is that key measurements are the bottom line in which the city needs to conduct a written plan to be our journey to prosperity. There are a lot of great ideas out there, but too many for us to accomplish right away. So we must agree on how we're going to improve Rocky Mount together in a plan. Any successful plan requires an accountability factor of measurable outcomes that allow, in this case, the city manager and council to navigate in a way that creates success within the confines of the plan. In business, we call that key performance indicators, or KPIs. So KPIs keep everyone engaged in the success of a plan and allow our elected and appointed officials to be accountable. And together we should work to produce a unity around a comprehensive plan for the city with a focus on redevelopment. This plan should allow us as a community to be opportunistic when able and calculated when needed. Several Eastern North Carolina municipalities are utilizing KPIs to improve performance with the help of the UNC School of Government's Performance Measurement Project. And I've spoken with the lead professor at UNC, introduced him to our Mayor Pro Tem, Richard Joyner, and hope that Rocky Mount can become part of this innovative program at the next opportunity. Again, I believe continued success and recognition for Rocky Mount is with any municipality starts with a solid written plan so that we can all work together toward Rocky Mount's continued success and best prosperity. Finally, I would like to also commend Fire Chief Corey Mercer, for leading the Rocky Mount Fire Department to achieve the highest rating of Class 1, being part of an elite but small group across the country to do so. I'd like to thank our Human Resources Department, spearheaded by Keena Cofield Jones, for implementing a wellness program to support the health, morale, and general well-being of the city's employees while finding a cost savings in workers' comp. I'd like to thank Parks and Recreation, ably directed by Joel Dunn, that installed 8 large banners for the Black Light Project on buildings around town to counteract negative perceptions of Black men by revealing the authentic unsung heroes in our communities and connected with stakeholders and the community to adopt the Battle Park renovations plan. The Rocky Mount Police Department, I would like to thank for initiating a police athletic program to improve relationships between the police and youth within the city through coaching of youth baseball, softball, and basketball teams. And most importantly, I'd like to welcome our new police chief, Robert Hassel, to Rocky Mount. We expect great things from his leadership going forward. Our internal audit department, led by Abdul Balik, for keeping the city in compliance, and our public works department, directed by our own Brad Carr, for his focus on keeping the community functioning and beautiful, including the completion of the Parkers Canal Drainage Improvement Project, resurfacing our streets and designating bike boulevards and inspiring volunteers to keep America, especially Rocky Mount, beautiful. The Water Resources Department, led by Brenton Bent, for upgrading the Sunset Avenue treatment plant, relining approximately 10,000 linear feet of the 27-inch Beach Branch sewer outfall from the wastewater treatment plant to Seven Bridges Road, and transitioning our water treatment to safer methods. As we emerge from this year of COVID-19, I urge you to get vaccinated, continue to look after your neighbors, and know that I'm always working for you, often behind the scenes, but always ongoing. I'm not here to generate attention, but to listen to you and put Rocky Mount on a path to its highest potential. Thank you for your time today, and I hope you will join me in being part of a greater change here in Rocky Mount. It is my honor and pleasure to serve as your mayor. Thank you. I want to say thank you to you guys. Just tell you the genesis of the story. I'm sure you probably know, maybe from Carrie, but I'm not sure those watching us will know. I was approached by 3 or 4 ladies in a particular community and just saying that, they were experiencing a lot of criminal activity in their neighborhood. They could see it. They were scared for their children to go out, even to take trash cans out to the curb, to ride the bike down the street, just because of various activities. And so we really thought hard about it. You can send the police by and they'll go by, and the folks will go away for a little bit. The activity will, but it's not sustainable. And so one of the things that somebody had suggested was maybe we try these doorbells and kind of capture the images, and that has more of a 24/7 kind of impact. And And so we reached out to ADT, to you guys, and you contributed a number of doorbells to us, and I want to thank you for that. And those folks in that neighborhood are thankful for it. We got two other partners in the deal. One is Councilman T.J. Walker, who's here, a councilman here in Ward 4, and then Chambliss and Rabel, who are a construction firm to install those into a number of places. And I think the early returns are pretty good, but we're far from what I would call a significant sample of data. But thank you so much for contributing and being part of that, because that's a really big deal in terms of peace of mind for folks.
Yeah, well, it's our pleasure to help, Mr. Mayor, and I'm glad it's hopefully starting to make kind of a difference there. Not only are they, a great tool to be able to actually help capture the bad guys, but convict them, because a picture is worth 1,000 words. And then I would say the third thing that's the big advantage of these as well is they're a deterrent. So a lot of studies show if a burglar's looking to break into a place, if they do see a security camera or even a security yard sign out front, the odds are they'll keep going and go on down to another house that doesn't. So I think that's an effective tool just in itself for bad guys to see the cameras and not want to break in.
Right. So I'm sure you guys do all kinds of studies on this on a consistent, constant basis as you're going through product development. So what are some of the tips that you've learned through some of those exercises? Because I think that would be important for folks to hear, particularly on a peace of mind. In our community, 65% of our population who is African American cited their number one issue to be public safety, and 50% of our Caucasian white population agreed with that particular statement. So it's a significant issue, whether it manifests itself in a violent crime or a crime, whether people have actually been touched about it or whether it's perceived. Regardless, an issue that has to be dealt with, at least in the hearts and minds of folks. So what kind of things have you discovered as you've gone through this product development, such as the signs? What kind of advice can we provide to people that maybe can serve to deter other criminal activities around their community?
Well, it really is layers of security. So it's not just a one size fits all. So it's not only having a security system, but also following some common sense tips, like locking your doors, turning on outdoor lights. If you're away from the home, picking the newspaper off the driveway. If you get a brand new 75-inch flat screen TV, don't leave the box out on the curb for the trash guy to pick up, because then that's an invitation for somebody to know that, oh, wow, you just got a brand new $2,000 system in your house. Some of it's just common sense. Some of it is just investing in some technology like we offer. I would say another great tip is having a strong neighborhood watch program. A nosy neighbor is somebody that you want to have living next door to you or across the street, because they will be on the lookout if you're not there or if you're asleep or in the backyard, and they will notice when people go in. 35% of all break-ins come in through the front door. 35%. So that's
35%. Wow.
So that's why it's good to have front doorbell cameras installed because of that. And the other 2/3 are, of course, other entries in the house, back door, side windows, things like that.
Sure. Okay, well, that's great. Well, look, so what products does ADT offer that folks can employ in their security or their home or in person that maybe we don't know about? I mean, we've talked a little bit about the doorbell, that takes an image. I'm sure you have other systems in place that maybe, people ought to know about.
Well, thank you. Yes, we have full security systems for the premise. So with door sensors, the activation that happens when a window or a door is opened when the alarm is on. We also offer a full suite of life safety devices. So integrated smoke detectors and carbon monoxide detectors that will help prevent a tragedy in a house. So if you're asleep and you're upstairs in your house and you have a carbon monoxide leak in your furnace, and you have a carbon monoxide detector. It will alert, it'll wake you up, and then there will be a call that will be sent to one of our 6 monitoring centers around the US where we're staffed 24/7. And we'll see that there's an emergency going on inside your house. We will call on the house phone or on your cell phone. If we do not get an answer, then we will call 911.
Okay.
And so we have great success stories with helping save lives.
So, what are there monthly subscriptions to these things? Do they operate independently? I'm sure you have products that do both. Because everybody's working off of a different budget, and so, how does the pricing range for a lot of these systems?
Well, it really ranges from the very basic of less than $200 for just a doorbell camera and a basic setup, all the way up to several $1,000s for the full suite of systems with multiple cameras, the life safety devices, and some interactive services as well. So today it's all smart home devices that can be integrated into your security system, so you can remotely activate lights. You can turn on and off your security system. You can do a whole host of other advantages by connecting real time with your house from really anywhere in the world, as long as you have good connectivity. So that is kind of the range. And then the similar range would be in terms of the monthly monitoring fee from less than $30 a month. So basically $1 a day to help keep your family safe, all the way up into the nearly $100 a month. And I might want to mention too that most reputable home insurance companies do offer a discount for monitored security protection off your homeowner's insurance.
Does
So
that
that
apply
can
to
help
renters insurance as well? Do you know?
Yeah, I think so. It does for a renter's policy. Yeah.
It would certainly make sense that it should, but anyway. Well, so look, what would you tell us about ADT, ADT Blue that we haven't already shared or talked about today? Because I think that's important. Again, to appreciate all that you've done, helping the city of Rocky Mount and our residents, kind of work through or at least demonstrate what impact maybe a camera can have in a community. And so, but there are surely other things that maybe you would like to share with us that I haven't had the insight to ask.
Well, thank you. Yeah, ADT is a full service security company. We're the most trusted brand in America. We've been in business since 1874, so nearly 150 years. We have 20,000 employees at 300 locations across the U.S. I don't think we're located in Rocky Mount, but probably fairly close. And we serve 6.5 million customers.
Okay, well, we'd love to have you located in Rocky Mount. So if you're considering an option to relocate somewhere, you consider us and think of us in mind. But Bob, I want to thank you so much for taking the time with us this afternoon and talking with me today. Thank you for being a partner with many members within our community and all that you guys have done.
Well, thank you, Mr. Mayor, for your proactive efforts there in Rocky Mount to help make a difference in your community and to help fight crime.